Alright, you're gonna have to give me, like, half a second because, like, some things are set up and some aren't. Like, the chat isn't set up. I gotta fix this. Oh, God. Is that it? Damn, I can't believe chat's dead. Can we pour one out for chat being dead? Where did... I guess just chat just doesn't exist. No chat. All bacon and no games, or no games and all bacon. That's the meme, right? Am I crazy? Don't answer that. Am I like schizophrenically? Is just no? That's spout. Where did my chat go? Wait. For some reason it says that it's massive. Hold on. No. 1,000 minutes, guys. I'm being cucked by my OBS. Wait, what if I just make this taller? You know, it doesn't help that I'm, like, genuinely, like, in prison right now. Wait, what if I, freeze all my sources? If I freeze all my sources, I can grab the chat. But yes, hi! Welcome, to jail, where I've got all your amenities. We're gonna be doing some interesting discussions today. One of which, apparently in, overseas, there's, like, lockdowns and whatnot. You can only drive, like, once a week, like, weird shit. I'm, like, hearing weird shit. No, even locking all my sources doesn't fix it. What's... Properties. Can I, like, just... Fine, I guess I'm just gonna grab the CCS and I'm gonna remake my chat box, I guess. Copy. New browser source. Paste. Which of your sister's tweets landed me in jail? Okay, I will catch up. I literally cannot see anything yet. There we go! There we go! It only took me banging my head against the door. And before I put it in the Kaya folder, I would never do such a thing. Damn, now you guys straight up look like you're, mobile-sized. First stream in a month, watching this while writing a script on the evils of anime and satanic worship symbolism. Any tips from my favorite schizo? I don't know if I have any tips, but I definitely have some thoughts. Anime is interesting because it uses Catholicism as like a cool, edgy aesthetic, and it uses religious themes and ideas as kind of like a secondary pseudo-magical system. And I don't think it's done maliciously. I just think it's done from a degree of, like, total separation from the religion it's taking inspiration from, to the point of it's not even disrespectful parody. It's, they literally see it as just an absurd fantasy extension, whatever. Like, they don't even see it as, like, a genuine belief system. Like, they see Catholicism kind of the same way that they see wizards and witches and knights with fairies and time travel isekai. Like, there's a bunch of glibness in regards to that. And at least for the Japanese, it's not, in my personal opinion, coming from a place of disdain and hatred. But it's definitely coming from a place of just ignorance of what they're sourcing from, and just them not caring because they don't have a reason to. They weren't raised in it for the most part, so they have no attachment to them. Has she started to rant about her fetishes yet? Hey, do I have any mods in here that can, like, disinfect this gentleman's eyeballs? Just a good old-fashioned bleach squirch bottle. A squirch bottle. I will say that there is more, like, actual, like, Catholics in Japan at this point in time. Like, there's, like, churches and there's actual, like, Catholicism in Japan at this point in time. On today's broadcast, Midas finally goes to prison for all her numerous crimes, some even against humanity herself. Will she finally get the chair? Tune in next time on an episode of Zeta Gundam. Hold on, I'm gonna go into the prison cell with, like, the pool table. Alright, guys, so let me level with you. I don't know what's going on. There's so much going on around the world. The price of gas jumped like a whole 60 cents overnight. Because of, like, everything. The Philippines is in disarray, which I will say, because all of the Philippines are my mortal enemies, I do not feel bad for them. I don't feel bad. Okay. I feel bad that there's a humanitarian crisis because of the destruction and the lack of access to oil supplies. That said, I don't like the people of the Philippines. So, every time they get an L, that's a W for me. And this is part one of my multi-step plan to ultimately destroy and wipe the Philippines off the map. They will become underwater. They will become the next Atlantis. That said, what the Philippines do to you, boss? My sister-in-law is Filipina. That's it. That's entirely it. That's entirely it. I don't actually care about anything else in the Philippines. I just don't like my sister-in-law. But Erina, well, then she can be like an honorary Canadian. I don't care. Get her out of the Philippines and then it won't hurt her. Guess the price would have been higher if Saudi Arabia hadn't built a pipeline across the whole dang desert. Pipelines are based, okay? Trying to... This is a jailable offense for a Canadian to say, but I think that natural gas and oil, you know, oil sands and all that is pretty cool. I think, you know, gas vehicles rock. Diesel, pretty baller. Anybody that wants an electric vehicle is a poser who doesn't genuinely care about the environment. If you think about it, where does the electricity come from? It comes from a power plant. How does that power plant make its energy? Well, through natural resources, of course. Like, there's no easy, clean energy, just energy from a different source. So instead of, like, sucking off big electric car, just take the power into your own hands and have easy-to-access gas stations. It's all about keeping poor people from being able to have agency and go from point A to point B and have them reliant on public transport or government systems. Anyway. This is why I'm in jail. So, the reason why the stream title is Artemis Fowl... I'm looking a lot pointier than usual. I'm very pointy today. So, the reason why today's stream is Artemis Fowl, the reason why we're in the asylum together here, is because I saw the Harry Potter trailer, unironically. Like, genuinely seeing Black Severus Snape activated my Artemis Fowl emotions again. And so I think we need to talk about it. Both the insultingly racist Harry Potter thing. I know, right? I can find something racist to a point where it bothers me. That's crazy. And why this relates to Artemis Fowl. Now, even the people that like, you know, race swapping are upset about Black Severus Snape. And there's multiple reasons. It is a multi-pronged thing. And this does tie directly to Artemis Fowl, specifically in how Hollywood handles adaptations and its misguided attempts at actually, we'll get there. First, so for those who are uninformed, let's get out of this jail cell. I don't like this one anymore. Let's go to the one with the bunk bed and the toilet. Okay, so. Who incarcerated this lost party dwarf? Shut up! Hey, Lucid, thank you for the 1.400 ARS. Imagine one day we get a black Midas. My hair's plenty black. I don't LARP by speaking Ebonics. That's not a classy thing for me to do. I was not raised in a community that uses Ebonics as their main form of communication, so pretending to speak Ebonics when that wasn't how I was raised is very tasteless. That said, if I was born in the inner city and I spoke Ebonics, that would just be me being a product of my environment. Midas played by Zendaya. No! Midas played by Zendaya. Heck. So, Black Snake. Now, picture this. I'm sitting there, sitting pretty. I'm on Twitter, and I'm scrolling, and I see the advertisement for the new Harry Potter series on HBO. And I'm like, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I make fun of my older sister for being a huge Harry Potter fan. I make fun of her for raising her kids to be Harry Potter fans. I think that it's just like mid-tier at best. Artemis Fowl's a better fantasy, but whatever. It got raped out of Hollywood. So I'm like, I've got no strong feelings about this. I think J.K. Rowling is like stupid in her rage baiting, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching it because I'm like, you know what? All things considered, it's still a relatively competent fantasy with fascinating world building, even if I don't necessarily like consuming it. And I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, I mean, this is kind of alright. It's a little washed out, but the child actors look pretty good, and I'm not used to the adult actors. I really am used to the way that the old first movie looked. But I'm actually finding myself a little invested. I'm like, hey, you know, this could actually be interesting. I could actually enjoy this. And then, well, first off, I see Chud Malfoy, and I'm like, damn, that's just my baby brother. That looks identical to my baby brother. This is a little uncanny valley. I don't know how I feel about Chud Malfoy. Chud Malfoy verse Incel Harry Potter. But then, camera hits Black Snape, and I'm like, oh, this is dead on arrival. This is gonna piss off everyone. This is gonna piss off the right and the left. This is not a winning scenario. This is actually the great equalizer. This is going to be an expensive, heinous, steaming pile of shit for the same reason Artemis Fowl was. Like, this is a PR nightmare. You're absolutely right, Carlson Brano. Now, I will catch up on supers, but I want to get through my extended tangent first. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to open Twitch in another tab. And today I'm going to make a concentrated effort to make sure that I don't miss shit going on Twitch. I don't typically miss chats, but I've been missing, like, bit donos because I only get pinged when YouTube does it. And so I do end up reading the bit donos, but I always do it like an hour late or a half hour late, and I feel real bad because the person's probably stopped watching. So today I'm going to try and be a bit quicker on the draw than a half hour. Also, speaking of J Phantom, hello Cutis, and Ui Shinigami, good morning Midas. Hello you two. Alright. Now, where were we? So, Midas, what are you, racist? Snape can't be black? Well, let me put it this way. There's two reasons why Snape should absolutely not be black unless it is purposely being done as a political statement. And if it is not being purposely done as a political statement, then it will be misread as said political statement regardless, and people will feel alienated and irate because it's not a good political statement. It actually isolates and pisses off people both sides of the aisle. One side for virtue signaling, and the other side for the implications. So, first reason, the more practical one, is that you've got two pieces of source material to reference from that are very explicit in his skin tone, his hair, his gait, his everything. And from all appearances, most if not all other characters are book accurate. He is the only one who isn't. Like, even Hermione in this one looks more book accurate in the TV show than she does in the movies, which is interesting to me. Although we haven't seen the full cast yet, so, you know, who's to say? But Snape sticks out like a sore thumb because he seems, on an outward glance, to be the only one that has been given revisionist treatment. So, begs into question, why? Why would you do this? If everything else seems book accurate enough, albeit kind of washed out and sad and obnoxious, why change him? And so people, if you're gonna go SJW, you might as well go full throttle. I'm not going SJW. This is not a social justice thing. Hey, Midas, happy birthday. Okay, putrid. Okay, very funny. Now, it isn't inherently bad that he's black. The same issue... Well, actually, no, it wouldn't be the same issue if he was Asian or any other denomination, because Black Snape comes with a bunch of implications and historical ties. And let me put it this way. Do they really want to make the main character suspect the only black guy in the cast of being, like, of stealing things, of being a bad guy, and then have flashbacks where his father was hanging him? Because Snape in the source material was, like, the suspicious, sneaky guy who stole things, and Harry Potter's father was a bully who would hang him. Like, with magic. He would hang him around, up by his feet, up by his shoulders. Like, all of a sudden, you are now tying historical, social, political things purely because of a skin color. Like, you are purposely trying to make people, you know, have those connections by doing that. Like, that is now a new implication. It's gonna be a funny meme for a month, right? Well, yes, but hold on. I do have an extended point about this, okay? I have a point about this, and it does tie to Artemis Fowl, okay? So there's disrespecting, like, easy source material, where now you have people's minds wander, and then you have the implications. The implications being that the directors wanted you to see the source in a new light. Now, artistically, if that was intentional, it's brilliant. They did it on purpose, and they did exactly what they set out to do. If it was unintentional, then they are the stupidest people alive. Secret third option, it was intentional, and they wanted controversy to get traction. If so, they got what they wanted. Will this mean something for the longevity of their franchise? I don't think so. They care that you pay to watch. Oh, but, like, I won't be paying to watch. I don't even think I'll be pirating it. Before, at least I was gonna pirate it, but now I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care, because if they're gonna change this for some nebulous social messaging that is designed to make people on both sides of the aisle pissed off, like, what else are they gonna change, right? Are they gonna... It's just, it's boring. It's boring, and it's transparent, and I'd rather just honestly watch an original property at that point, rather than something that's been garbled up and recycled. Yeah, they shouldn't be rewarded for it. You're absolutely right, Koss. They should have made him a cute cat boy. You know what, Putrid? That you are 100% right. They should have made him a cat boy. That is the only proper subversion. No. No. So, how does this tie back to Artemis Fowl? Wouldn't casting Snape as biracial, be considering Snape's call a half-blood prince, be more appropriate considering biracial kids get treated badly? I don't know. Maybe, but they were definitely trying to make a point, and they made their point. And so now we're just left up to see what goes on. However, this is not the first nor the most egregious case of them doing it, but this is just like the loudest case of them doing it. That they did the exact same thing to Artemis Fowl. And it was one of the big things that wrecked the movie. Holly Short in the books is described with cherubic plump cheeks, a bit of a hooked nose. She looks like a little Middle Eastern or something, and she's got nut brown skin and short, cropped, crew cut auburn hair, right? Like very, very tomboy, very masculine, dark-skinned woman. And in the film, they made her the cutest little white girl that you've ever seen. And then they took, in the book, a Eurasian ninja assassin who's big, and his whole storyline is, my family has served your family, your rich family, for generations. It has been our social obligation, and we're trained from birth to serve you. And they made him black. So now the black guy's family has been in indentured servitude for this guy's family, for the little white Irish guy's family for generations. And the black woman, the strong, independent black woman, is turned into a frail little white girl who is very pathetic and useless. There is strange backwards associations there. And it was done in a strange diversity attempt. Like, it was done to be diverse, but it just comes off as heinously racist instead. And if it was intentional, I mean, it would almost be funny, but knowing Kenneth Branagh, it really is just him being that stupid, honestly. Brown with hook nose sounds more Indian to me. Middle Eastern, Indian, yeah, just in general. Are there not already black characters in the original Harry Potter movies? Am I wrong? Oh, no, there is. Like, it's the exact same thing. It's just like they get rid of one black character, so they make a different character black to make up for the lack of it. Like, this is like a trend. This is a theme. Like, it's the same thing with blacking your gingers. They will take historically ginger cartoon characters, and in the live-action adaptations, make them black every single time. This isn't, like, heinous, but this is a very common trend. Like, Catwoman, I don't think Catwoman was ginger, but after Halle Berry portrayed her, she's almost been exclusively black ever since. April O'Neil, quintessential ginger that got turned black and stayed black forever. Black Velma Dinkley as well. I don't understand why specifically gingers get the short end of the stick, because they're like 0.3% of the population. They're viscerally underrepresented, and I think it's more offensive to make a ginger, like, to remove a ginger to make them white, like make them like Aryan, make them American, to make them Japanese, to make them black, to make them Middle Eastern. I think it's more, personally, I think it's worse to erase a ginger than it is to erase many other demographics. Because they're underrepresented and they don't get new representation anymore. Unless it's in fantasy and in cartoons. I'm not saying it's worse to remove a ginger than it is a black person. I'm saying it's worse to remove a ginger than it is to remove, let's say, a British person. What if it's a British ginger? Well, don't remove the British ginger. Poor Ron Weasley. Anyway. I don't know. I feel like gingers are dying in cinema, but they're also just dying in real life, because it is like a mutation, right? A hereditary mutation, and it's just like vanishing. I read something like, we're 2 generations away from like redheads going extinct, which is fucking insane, because that means like the generation of my grandkids, there could be no more gingers unless they like organically bubble out of nowhere, out of the ether, like an albino. Like, gingers are becoming as rare as albinos, apparently. Still a lot in Ireland. Yeah, Ireland's demographics are fast becoming multicultural. Ireland right now looks almost... It looks like Canada, kinda. Your grandkids. I want grandkids. Look, I'm allowed to cope one day. Like, cope and think that one day I'll get there, okay? Now, just because I'm skipping a step... I'm gonna adopt some grandkids! Midas a noticer? No, I just have... I just have Sisyphus as my sister. Ah! Wait, seriously? I once saw a pair of albino twins. It must have been an anomaly. If you saw albino twins, I will eat a leather glove. Might still you need a husband before you can start working on grandkids. You know what, APS? I feel like just randomly stealing grandchildren is easier than going through the hoops of getting a husband and having an organic kid that has enough game to then have their own kids. Albino went to school for the money. Okay, that's the thing about albinos. Albinos, because of, like, the lack of pigmentation in their eyes, they're prone to getting blind. Like, most albino people have, like, severe eye problems, if not are legally blind. And that's not just the case in humans, that's the case in the animal kingdom. Now, albino rabbits, pretty common because there's a bajillion rabbits out there. One of the rabbits that we have, that we use for, like, our meat stock, is albino. Well, was albino. He died. Remember the one that got mauled by the dog? Yeah. Not our dog, a dog that wandered into our yard, jumping the fence. No, that one was albino, and that one was blind. And it's entirely because of the eyes. All albino rabbits will eventually become blind. You eat rabbits? Necro, we've been over this! For those who don't know, my family raises, like, breeds, raises, and culls rabbits for food. We have a freezer full of rabbit meat. We're getting very good at cooking them. No BS, I worked at a restaurant where one of the regulars that were a pair of albino twins didn't realize I saw their eyes were pinkish. That's pretty based. Yeah. What those billiard pool get to do beside... what that billiard do to get behind bars? Crimes against gambling. Crimes against a casino. I don't know. Guys, do you really want to be in prison? Do you guys want a different environment? I only picked prison because I couldn't think of anywhere else. She's gonna eat Pippa. No! Pippa's doing a monster taste test right now. I don't want to disturb her. Hello, Midas. Hello, everyone. Hello, Hipster Hobbit. Pibbles is a rabbit fan artist. Get on it. Guys, don't, okay? No. I don't know her like that. I appreciate her work as a fellow VTuber. I am a fan of her stuff. Like, I watch her stuff, but we are not, like, friends or anything like that. Like, we have spoken literally once, and that was over my teeth. Like, she's a lovely person, but, like, I don't know her. I saw, not to get one guide, but everybody knows that, like, I see everything all the time. People are calling me a phase friend. I don't know any of the girls on an interpersonal level. Like, I've had maybe 1 or 2 conversations with some of them. Like, I played Infinity Nikki with one of them once. Like, I don't know these people. But I appreciate and I respect their stuff. Like, I love them. I love the company. But, like, just, I don't want this misunderstanding perpetuated that I know anybody in Phase Connect, because I genuinely do not. And that's not like a diss, but like, this is no. Midas is actually talking to fuck! What am I gonna do? No. They know! No. I don't think I'm an old enough Asian man to do that. He's like in his mid-30s, I think? I don't know. So they're acquaintances, not friends? Yeah, pretty much. Oh no, she's Chinese! If I was Chinese, you can imagine the lethal amount of bad jokes I would make about being in a very Chinese time of my life. Let's be so honest. I can't make that joke because I'm not Chinese. You picked prison because you may think you left Persona 5 behind, but it didn't leave you. Kawakami, best girl all the way. Goro Akechi is literally me. What can I say? Speaking of literally me, the reason why I dressed up in this outfit today, hold on, is because I'm literally Artemis fowl. Okay, I've got the suit, I've got the button-up shirt, I've got the sunglasses. Oh, by the way, while this is a Con Air reference, and they're clipping through my bangs, it's also an Artemis fowl reference, because Artemis fowl doesn't have aviators, but he does have specially made large frame glasses with reflective lenses that he uses to trick the fairies, because fairies have like hypnosis eyes. Yes, like that kind of hypnosis. And if they make eye contact with you, then you are under their spell. You're kind of their thrall. So he uses mirrored glasses to talk to them, so that whenever they try to mind control him, their eye rays bounce off of his glasses. That's why he's always dripped the fuck out. Hi, Yu Yu. Hey, Yu Yu. Welcome on in. Make sure I didn't miss a raid. Good. She's hiding that she knows all VTubers. She is all VTubers. She's only trying to fracture her power with the 6 me now. She is all VTubers. Oh, why am I hearing myself twice? I hate this. There we go. I fixed that. I'm Chinese. You get the pass? Get the pass. Nice shirt. Frills are so much fun. I have a shirt like this offline, and I love it, but I also am always afraid to wear it because it's a white shirt, and historically when I have white clothes, they always end up with acrylic paint all over them. I can't explain it. I'm not even usually using acrylic paint, but like I had beautiful white pants, and I look down and there's like neon orange paint all down one of the legs. It's now permanently the white pants with neon orange splatters all over it. Midas is the original VTuber and she will be the last VTuber. You know, my friend is Chinese and he know you'd want you to say it. I know that you're potentially watching right now. I have a Korean friend. I have a very irritating Korean friend. I have very few friends, but I have one who's Korean. And every time I talk to this Korean friend, it's always, you can call me the word. Call me the word. I want you to call me the word. And it's like, no, I'm not going to call you that. You know, just for the sake of lore accuracy, I will say the word here because I'm not referring to anyone by it. But this friend of mine keeps trying to trick me into calling them a chink. And I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that because I know that they would record it and I'd never hear the end of it. But every time, without fail, it's like, no, I'm not gonna call you that. I will be minding my business, trying to do work. This person will jump into the VC and be like, so, am I a chink today? It's like, shut the fuck up! Like, chink isn't even, like, that's the Chinese word, not the Korean word! I don't even think there is a Korean word. I don't think the Koreans have a word yet. Gaijin? No, that's Japanese for foreigner, but usually for white. Midas is oddly wholesome. I don't need a slur to insult people, okay? Here's the thing. I am not better than using slurs, but I would rather not use a slur because slurs are lazy and uninspired. I'd rather hit somebody where it hurts with a tailor custom-made insult. Like, let me put it this way. If you have to slur, you've lost. Like, you've lost. You don't win if you slur. Right? Language is language at the end of the day, and it really is what it is. But why would I want to fall to the lowest common denominator? Right? Personal insults dig much deeper. Oh, 100%. Low-hanging fruits can be tasty, too. I mean, again, like, if a situation calls for something, and it's topical and funny, we'll see what happens. But typically, I don't ever find myself having to resort to it because I can always come up with something better. How many passes can you get from chat? I'm not going to sit here and do a slur tier list. Look, if you want a bad tier list that'll cause trouble forever and be farmed to death, go bug my sister, okay? Go bug my sister. She seems to be in the business of doing really bad tier lists. I hear about that in my real life. I hear about her race tier list. Like, oh. I die of cringe. Like, it is what it is, man. I'd rather not give her any slur that refers to any race. She made an interesting point, though, the other day. Which is a dangerous thing to say about my sister. But Jewish people calling non-Jewish people goyim has been fast evolving into a white people slur. Like, using goy against white people. And she was saying that in real life at, like, the breakfast table, talking to my mother, like, what's up, my fellow goyim? Hello, goy. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she goes on her tirade, and then I look at my phone, and I see that she's talking about this, like, on YouTube Shorts as well, and it's like... I can't look away from her for 5 minutes. I can't look away from her for 5 minutes without her causing me some issues. Although I will say the meet and greet that she participated in, she was actually very cordial. It was very... I have to tell you guys about CarrierCon. I have thoughts about CarrierCon, and not all of them are good. I have some criticisms of CarrierCon, and also hi Para, welcome on in, Raiders. I have not so good thoughts about CarrierCon. But first I want to talk about the positives. I got invited to do stuff at a booth with my sister. So the Capitalist Guild, love those guys, by the way. Great products. Oni is the most hilarious guy. He's so much fun to work with. Very passionate. All the stuff is made in-house. They've got like one big warehouse and they all got like CNC machines and shit and they just make stuff, right? Awesome. It was funny because he slipped into my DMs. He's like, hey, I would like your sister to do a meet and greet at my booth. You're welcome to join too if you want. So I dragged her in. I'm like, all right. Baby's first meet and greet. This is what you do. If you're stuck, I will do some talking to lighten the mood for you. And I was expecting her to get us kicked out of the convention, but she was actually surprisingly nervous the whole time. It was actually very cute. Still waiting on my Midas plush. I think they've started the shipments of them. You'd have to contact him on Twitter. I don't have any information about that. Yeah, no, I still haven't received the items yet either, right? Because I also am getting a batch of all my merch, and same with the Syndicate merch. But yeah, she was very polite, very good. A bunch of VTubers came by and said hi. They had the best meet and greet setup of the entire convention. Like, I don't know, like, in person if it was, like, visually the best, but, like, as a VTuber, I will say that for work, I did a different meet and greet there. I won't go into details, but I did 3 meet and greets at Carrier Con. And out of all of them, the Capitalist one had the best audio, had the best visual on our side. There was no lag time. And we had a big monitor. We were in a nice place, and everybody was so friendly. And when we got there, everything was already set up. There was no technical issues. Even the internet worked fine. But Carrier Con's official one itself, I had a time slot there, and they had no microphone, and they had no speakers, no proper speakers anyway, so nobody could hear the VTuber, and the VTuber couldn't hear anyone else. Again, it was the webcam mic that the people that were meet and greeting were talking to the VTuber through, so every third syllable was heard. And I arrived like 20 minutes early to my virtual meet and greet via Carrier Con, and it was just, it was bad. It was bad. They didn't tell us how to format properly. Like, I was formatted properly, but they wanted it a different format. They didn't inform us. I missed half my slot because they couldn't figure out their monitor system. And then my meet and greet cut like a couple minutes early, so I maybe had like 10 to 15 minutes out of my half-hour slot. And every single person, both days, was having horror stories about how bad the official Carrier Con meet and greet setup was. Didn't Lisa get fucked over? Oh yeah, Lisa got fucked over bad. People in charge of Carrier Con this year, I don't want to say that they did their best, because it was a shit show. But I'm sure there was some earnest intention behind the work they did. And it doesn't help as well that the city that the convention was hosted in throttled the amount of people that were allowed on the boat at a time. Whereas last year, it was like unlimited. People could just come on and off, but the city placed a 300 people restriction on the boat. So the convention looked empty the whole time because the city was artificially, like, enforcing it to be empty. No. Yeah, no, it was Lisa, I think. She had like a big event planned and she was ready on her side, and Carrier Con also, same technical issues, they dropped the ball. Now, I can't even say, oh, it was like all entirely because of the internet and the conventional, because no. Literally anything that wasn't official Carrier Con staff run was perfectly fine. Like, people may have had their own issues, but like, again, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just like, you know, they're having a hard time. It's a hard con. Stuff happens. But then I boothed at Oni with my sister. Like, Oni's booth, the Capitalist Guild booth with my sister. And I'm there like, oh, Oh! Oh, this is what a proper, like, meet and greet booth is like. This is like the best one I've ever been in ever. Like, it's butter smooth. I can see. What? They just really didn't care. Is that why Gabe stepped down, taking responsibility for this? I heard that the reason he stepped down was because, like, he was angry about something. Like, I don't know proper details. Capitalists learned from Offkai. Capipis rule the world, as per usual. Yeah. I don't know, just... Every time I'm asking other people who were doing stuff for CarrierCon, it's just like another bad thing. Well, no, it wasn't like a ship capacity limit thing. Like, the city imposed a new rule. There was, like, the ship itself was designed for thousands and thousands of staff and crew. Like, it was a military vessel. It could have way more than 300 people on it. Like, absurd amounts. I worry CarrierCon is gonna fade away now without Gabe. Who can say? It may or it may not. It really depends on the rest of the community and if they want to carry it on. And the staff behind CarrierCon as well, if they have somebody fill in for him. Why didn't you go to a Canadian convention venue like Toronto Comic-Con? I'm going to say, when I do virtual attended conventions, up to this point, it's because somebody else has invited me. I have not been seeking out doing these meet and greet slots. The only time I'm ever seeking out anything is if I'm in a place in person, so to speak. So if you ever see me doing a virtual appearance, it's because of something that somebody else has wanted of me. And I don't mind. Like, I think it's very flattering and very exciting to be invited. Do you think he'll do another virtual meet as Midas? Oh, speaking of, when I did the meet and greet as Midas with Sisyphus, literally, that was, like, spur of the moment. That was something that happened, like, was planned 10 minutes before we actually got on camera. There was no way we had time to advertise. If we had planned to be there before, then we would have made more posts. But it's just like, shit, Sisyphus. We're on in like 10. We don't have any advertising stuff. She's like, I'll make a tweet. And I'm like, no, you can't just make a tweet. You need a picture. Hold on, give me a PNG. And then she gave me a PNG, and then I made a picture of us in front of the Twin Towers, and I handed it to her, and I said, quick, put this on your Twitter. Hey, boss, up to... Hey! Fuck it, we'll do it live. Yeah, that's 100% it. How'd Sisyphus get a meet and greet by herself? Apparently, Oni from the Capitalist Guild is a very big fan of her. Which, fair enough. And he wanted to have her at his booth, which is cool. Midas won't do a slur tier list. You're damn straight I won't do a tier list. Besides, why would I do a slur tier list if I won't do a tier list of literally anything else? Tier lists are lazy, pathetic, and stupid waste of time content, and I hate doing them. I hate them. I think on my channel I only have one tier list, and that was like political assassinations or something, and that was because the friend of mine that was in that video with me really liked tier lists and really wanted to do that tier list with me. Like, this person insisted, and I'm like, you know what? Because you're my friend, and I like making my friends happy, we will do one tier list, because ranking political assassinations is kind of funny. But my god, was it dry? Was it boring? And I hate doing tier lists so much! What about a slur tournament? That could be kind of fun, like a round robin. What about that clip about hentai text? That wasn't a tier list. It was titled as a tier list, but like that wasn't like me doing like a tier list. That was that was Necro artificially tier listing it for me. A tier list of Midas salts. You know what? You know what? That would be kind of funny, actually. Okay, what's your favorite slip? You see that, chat? You see that? That's bait. That's what we call bait. That's what we call bait, chat. That's what we call bait. That's what gets me behind bars, chat. That's called bar bait. You see, you just. Oh. There we go. Wait, shit, where'd I go? Chat, I'm lost. I'm lost, chat. Ah! Oh, there we go. Hey, chat. That chat is called bait. Midas gets trolled. Wouldn't it be jailbait? Oh, we got a comedian here. I'm gonna show off all sorts of things. So, I do have... So, for the uninitiated... You know what I need? You know, now that I think about it, Midas is kind of like my Artemis fowl adjacent alt. It ties back into it. But, like, I'm gonna be so real. It's got, like, the dark hair, the vibrant single color palette, it's got the sunglasses, it's got the constant suit usage, it's got the god complex about being better than everyone else because it's true. It's got the whole world is my enemy! It's got the mom that everybody's lusting over for some reason. It's so funny. Last time that she was heard on broadcast, it was like a 2-second thing where she's coming and she's giving me a latte, and chat was going, "Oh my god, it's her!" for like 10 minutes. After the broadcast was over, she was very docile. She's just like, "Oh, did they hear me when I came in? Did they say anything? Did they miss me?" It's just like, "Mama, they wouldn't shut the fuck up after you came in. Yeah, they missed you." She's just like, yeah. Eventually the VOD will go back up. You gonna pimp your mom out for ASMR content? She thinks ASMR is vile and repugnant. And this isn't me going, I'm saying this to protect her. I'm saying this is like a legitimate thing. I have an older sister who was doing flesh tuber content, who for a while tried being an ASMR YouTuber, like a proper one. And she did like the whole into the microphone. And my mother likes to support all of her projects, right? So she would watch my older sister's ASMR content. And when I tell you that it would make my mother viscerally angry and ill, every time my older sister dropped something, my mother would be like angry. She'd be frothing. Like she'd have the video on and she'd be like talking about how nasty and disgusting it is. What the fuck is a flesh tuber? Well, what the fuck is a VTuber? Come on now. We're the non-Filipino grandchildren. Oh, my mother doesn't have any issue with my sister-in-law. I'm the only one. I have an enemy. I don't like my sister-in-law. That's why when I was like prepping to do my Yandere ASMR, that ended up ultimately failing, and I have to redo it, and I have to do some stuff at my job now for ASMR as well, but I don't have the mic yet. I need to save up to get the mic. So when I was doing that, that's why I was like nervous, because it's like, oh, my mother's gonna bitch. My mother's gonna watch this and bitch at me. She's gonna sit in the kitchen and bitch. I'm gonna come downstairs after a long, embarrassing broadcast, and she's gonna be like, what kind of weird sex thing was that? What the fuck? And like I'm gonna get reamed. Like that was the entire reason why it took so long. Anyway, the 3DO, right? I don't have a 3DO. I used to have a Blue Yeti, and with the Blue Yeti, it has 3D audio capability, so you can do like the surround sound. It's not good for singing. It's actually very bad for singing, but a lot of starter ASMR artists use Blue Yetis like specifically because of that. It's not like the Snowball, it's the big tall one. It's a good podcasting mic. And while most VTubers won't recommend it in the long term, like it's very good for ASMR, like very good. And I was stressing because the whole time prepping for that Yandere broadcast, I had my Blue Yeti right over there. It's right over there. But I lost the cable. I lost the cable like 2 years ago, and I was scrambling trying to find it. Before the broadcast started, I literally drove out hours into town to find a technology store that had like a replacement cable. But the cable that microphone uses has been discontinued for like 3 years. They don't make it anymore. It's special order online only, and it used to be a standard audio cable too. No, like I was fucked, chat. You don't know how cursed that Yandere ASMR stream was. I then was like, okay, I promised them this, and I finally have to do it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get 2 condenser mics, and I'm gonna attach them to a mixer, and I'm gonna make 1 left channel, 1 right channel. Boom, that's easy. Easy fix. Except, I only have the Wave XLR, which is good for 1 condenser mic. It's got 1 hole. Only 1, not 2. So you can't connect 2 mics to it. So I'm like, shit. Well, this isn't a USB mic. I can't plug it into the PC. What do I do? And so I go to Sisyphus and I'm like, hey, your setup, you recently got help getting another XLR. Can I borrow it for 1 broadcast and I'll hand it back after? He's like, yeah, sure. So I got 2 different audio mixers. And my computer is freaking out, trying to kill itself because it doesn't want to register a second one. And I'm plugging in the 2 XLR mics, and I'm pointing them at each other. I've now got a left and a right channel, except my computer won't register them as anything except the same microphone. I'm just getting single channel. So I have to download a whole new program to artificially split the mics and pan them over to different channels. Then I was able to broadcast. And it was the worst audio I've ever had in my whole life. Like, I was like borderline, actually. Like, you guys couldn't tell because I was really trying to hold it together, but actually halfway through that broadcast, I was so embarrassed with how bad it was that I was physically crying. Like, it was embarrassing because it was actually the worst ASMR I'd ever done in my whole life. And I couldn't even stay in character, right? Because I knew how bad it sounded. Anyway. And I also knew that my mother was probably downstairs listening, making fun, getting ready to make fun of me. Like, I just had, like, so much. And it was like, it all sucks. Anyway. So I'm in prison. I'm in a prison of my own making. Anyway. I mean, I could leave the prison. The door's wide open. It's like free food. I'm in the ASMR prison, yes. But yeah, no, it's, it is what it is, you know. Oh man, please tell me I had the music on the whole time. Yeah, okay, we've had some background sound. This is, I'm 12 and this is so deep. Now, my Japanese alt is going alright. We're real close to 2K on it. I stopped doing anything on it though over the last few days because I've been working on my job. Things are going alright over there. Since you're in VRC anyway, you could try setting up a dummy as mic through Creator Companion. I don't know how to do that. I genuinely don't know how to do that. Go to sleep. Bye, Midas in chat. Man, I wish I had something I could kill you with right now, Necro. So that after you go to sleep, you don't come back. Can you imagine being Necro? Can you imagine being a nasty clipper? Couldn't be me. Boss has a Japanese alt. Yes, Mr. Canada. I do have a Japanese alt. So, for the uninformed, I have 6 different VTubers I run. 2 of the 6 being twins that I'm developing, so they're technically active but not started. Have you ever visited a prison in the past when growing up? Like, not for criminal reasons, more like a field trip or visitation. Yeah, actually, in elementary school, they had us visit the local, like, holding jail cell. That was pretty fun. Why? Why, says Mirere? Why not? Like, it costs me nothing. It lets me practice, like, kind of like Duolingo, and get more confident in another language, and it's fun. I get to do characters. I was the kid who had a billion Tumblr LARP accounts and pretended that I was Goro Akechi, AU version, you know, just, you know. That's the thing a lot of people forget about VTubing, is that at its core, true VTubing is personality, and it's character. Now, I have accidentally stumbled into the niche of kind of like a mix between reality. So I'm more of like a commentator that's day-to-day life. But a lot of the appeal and the fun and the fantasy of VTubing is the unreality of it all, of being the fantasy creature. And some people get it and some people don't. Some people don't make the distinction. They want to be the fantasy character, but they can't commit to it because they don't understand what that means. And so they fall in a nebulous gray area and they don't appeal to anyone. And then there's the ones that are fully committed to the bit, like the Fuumokos of the world, that never drop character for a moment. You know, they are the character. You don't assume that they are someone else behind the thing because they're just Bao Bao. They're funny dogs. And then there's, I would consider the me's. The me's where it's just like, I am the same as I am in real life, but with a fancy coat of paint. Like, I'm not like a super scary wizard from the deep lore oceans. I'm just a person, and I decided because I have the ability to be yellow, I'm gonna be yellow, right? But at the end of the day, I love VTubing because I love the Fuumokos. I love the bit. Anything for the sake of the bit. And so when I make other VTuber characters, I treat it like a LARP account. Like, I treat it like Tumblr roleplay. Like, very straight up. It's honestly the best. I love it. Do I see myself ever getting big with them? No. One of them I'm treating like Duolingo, right? It's great. It's so cathartic, and it's so silly. I don't know. I think you can be scary. I don't know. Think she needs to find a TTRPG group to play with chat. Lol. Okay, Rugburger. Did you ever take drama class, boss? No, actually, because that's fake and gay. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I know people who take drama classes. Didn't you have another Midas skin that was a horse skin in the works, or am I misremembering something? Yeah, but I'm not gonna pretend that it's anything more than it is, which is like me liking Uma Musume. From all your channels, which are you most like yourself, IRL? Probably Midas, right? Hello, cork of my ass. That's some crazy work. Does Midas do VTuber commissions considering you made your own VTubers, right? Before I was Midas, I did a lot of VTuber commissions. I used to do Vroid models, and I used to do live 2D. Artwork, not rigging, although I started learning rigging before I was Midas. Now I don't do commissions. I just do the assets for myself because I don't have the time. Let me put it this way. When you're constantly making art, you're not making content. Unless the art is the content. But I have proven to myself that if I want to be a VTuber in a serious way, that I don't have the ability to split my attention while live and create art while talking. I actually have to be pretty silent when I'm doing artwork or commission work. Otherwise, I never get something done. Missed my chance of getting Midas out of myself. Hey, it is what it is. Jade Dardesu. Yeah. But no, I want to talk about my alts for a bit because I've been having so much fun. Midas or Midas looking touchable. Uma Midas is gonna be called King Midas because it's got a little crown. But if you nicknamed it Midas looking touchable, that's okay. That's a good nickname. Welcome back, no Midas. Good to see you. I literally am here. I've been here once a week, every week since December. I'm here. Look at my thoughts. I'm going to kill you. King Halo ass name. Oh, shut up, Para. I'm gonna kill you. Talk about your shit, King. I just now got to see you. Hush. Lol, 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 lol. Do a little, Tails gets trolled. Glad to see ya. Can you do a countdown? I don't have a bomb I'm trying to set off, sorry. I wish Midas broadcasted more than once per year. I know, doesn't it suck? Yeah, I know, I don't broadcast more than once a year. See, look, I'm in prison. Do you honestly think they'd let me, they'd let me out? Can I request the cool shades to be worn in the stream? No problem if you don't feel like it. This isn't toggleable. These are, like, stitched onto my forehead. Like, I can't, like, pull them down. Trust me. I can wear them on the live 2D, though. Next time I do a live 2D broadcast, I can wear them. The only reason I typically don't have them on my eyes is because then I lose, like, half my, emotion ability. Like, I lose all my eye movement. I miss the nuances of where I'm looking, and on the live 2D, my pupils shrink, right? And that's like half of how you can tell what I'm thinking or looking at. So it's more of like a practical thing. But you gain aura! Just by owning aviators, I have aura. You have eyes see through the glasses. I mean, yes and no, sometimes. I mean, the live 2D, yes. But it still obfuscates enough that where it's like, wearing them more often is a treat than not. Can't believe Pigtail Midas is in prison. Looks so cool, thanks. Like, I don't know, like... What should I show you of my alts? Hi, Midas. Hi! I mean, I could show you, like, a retired alt. Here. Some old artwork of mine. I'm thinking of bringing back, like, the long ponytail, though, in general on Midas. Just, like, having a long, low ponytail. There's one. Let's see. We've got the twins, of course. Actually, for the twins, I've been doing a lot of drawing recently. If I go to the go to my photo gallery real quick. I've been doing, like, an absurd amount of artwork. Of them, and their mech getting destroyed, and then feeling the impact of the mech being destroyed. Oh no, the mech's being destroyed. We're gonna fucking die! Oh no, what are we gonna do? Release the tiger! Releasing the tiger! Yeah, releasing the tiger! Oh no, we're gonna crash! Oh fuck, boom! Ah! Anyway. I've been drawing. I've been doodling. I'm doodling my little twins. Before I do anything with them specifically, I'm trying to, wanting to work on my transatlantic fake accent because I kind of want them to sound fake British, but not in like the cringe way. And then they crash land in Detroit. No, they're gonna crash land along like some Canadian lake beside a cabin, and they're gonna be rescued by an old man. They're gonna speak Saturnese at him, and he's not gonna understand a word they say. He's gonna feed them some food and plop them in front of a CRT monitor that's playing some old-ass Hollywood movies. And they're gonna scan it, and that's how they're gonna learn English. And that's why they're gonna have a transatlantic accent, because they were watching some Betty Boop or whatever. Not in a cringe liberal way, more like an Alex Jones kind of way. What are you talking about? I missed your first thing. Are they the floating head twins? No longer floating head. When did you decide to draw art and make live 2D? Fun fact, you're on my CR2 right now. Dead ass? Yes, come on, I need a picture of that. I've been drawing like since I was 5, but doing live 2D art. I was an artist in the VTubing space long before I was a VTuber. Like, I was making assets and shit in like 2019. 2018. Although I didn't know really what I was making assets for in 2018. I was just being told, hey, I need things that are gonna be used as buttons. I need things that are gonna be used as overlays. I need to and I'm like, I don't know what that is. Tell me what that is. I'll do it for you because I need money. And then the longer I got into it, it's like, oh, VTuber. Okay, interesting. You need stuff for VTubing. Okay, I'll learn how to do that. And then I started doing Baby's First Live 2D around 2020. And then, yeah, lots of stuff. Found your channel from your art. It was sweet. Ah, I'm glad. Are you playing both twins? That's the idea. So playing twins, the way I plan to do it is with an interesting virtual set. Thank you, Corm, by the way. Kind of a delay response system, so I can talk with myself at the same time live and respond to chat as both characters live without it being a weird paused ventriloquism act back and forth. I want to be convincing, and it's gonna be like a limited time character run. But yeah. So that's the twins. I'll take a screenshot real quick of a live 2D model I'm working on. This one is for like a quiet personal project, and this doesn't really see the light of day anywhere. So this will probably be the only place you ever see it. But since it's mine, it's not like I'm not allowed to share it. It's just never like gonna be used public. Where'd I put it? Here we go. For those wondering if I got the adopt, I got help getting the adopt. And the help I got getting the adopt, it was under the condition that I split it. So I don't have the outfit, I have the character underneath it. But yeah. I don't know, I've been getting really good at drawing my live 2Ds recently. I think I've really started to, like, hone in on that JP style. What are you gonna use it for? Personal project. I'm gonna use it for Zoom meetings. gonna use it when applying to work at a prison. Love the blue ribbon. Yeah. No, it's the closest I get to being able to do just artwork for myself these days. Looks a bit old, like old woman vibes, but still young. Well, the idea is that this is somebody that is almost 30. The appeal is that this is somebody that is almost 30. This is a 27, 28-year-old. Have a good night, J Phantom. Second Vin channel. No. There's 0 channels being made with that one. 0. I have enough channels, and I'm not upkeeping another one. So your age, yeah. Then I've got the FPS ult, the Japanese ult, the twins, Midas, and my job. It is rude to not say hello back. Napoleon! You can stuff it! Make her eternally 29 and then she'll be in that state of, oh no, it's coming! Look. If you haven't hit menopause, you're still young, okay? You're young until you're 50. Once you hit 50, it's over. Never said hello to me either. Oh, brother. You know what? I won't say hello to any of you. None of you deserve it. All of you should die. Now, I need to catch up on supers because there was quite a few at the beginning of broadcast that I missed. Well, I didn't miss. I was just saving them for a little later. First stream in a month. Watching this while writing a script on the evils of anime and satanic worship symbolism. Any tips from my favorite kids? So we already went through that, but yeah. An acknowledgement of that again because that was a pretty cool one. Pat Midas, Hug Midas, Kiss Midas, Tackle Midas, Sensitivity Juice Midas, Break Midas, Bride Midas, Red Hair Cross. No. Those are the wrong tags. Wrong tags. You can't seduce me with tags that look that weak. Toysogu, thank you for the 5K CLP. Sending this SC to remind everyone that Midas is peak. Absolutely. I am the tip of the mountain. I am the tip of the iceberg, even. I am the tip of the iceberg. There's so much underneath Midas. And it's all very ugly. Halroth of Ages Past. Is the hair twitching like ears a feature or a bug? I will claim that it is a feature. Floppy arm sleeves and frill says, whoa. I love my floppy sleeves. So sue me. I could have picked a normal shirt. I could have. You know what? If it's a crime, then lock me away. Imprison me. I'm a sick freak who likes my floppy sleeves, but hates over-the-shoulder VTuber jackets. So you get the fake Victorian shirt as often as I can humanely use it. We already read the Jeffrey Epstein one. But Arinet cute? Yes, red hair cross. We already did the Lucid Tour. They should get Weinstein to produce it. Yeah, no, Weinstein was going to produce the Artemis Fowl movie. And then he got outed for being a pedophile again. Everybody is outed for being pedophiles. Could somebody be outed for doing something different one of these days? Like, oh, this guy, he's been outed for secretly being the guy who was remote controlling the airplane that crashed into the Twin Towers. That's a cool thing to be outed for. The pedophilia, the writers this season are so lazy. The internet, please, Adam Driver, them. Black. Okay. Oh, that was the Snape. Yes, young streaming. Adam Driver. He visually would be a good Severus Snape. I don't know how I feel about his acting. I'm gonna be so real. I don't know how I feel about his acting. But then again, should we really waste good actors on a piece of shit property? Probably not. They also did it to Annabeth and Percy Jackson, swapped her from blonde in the book. I remember on DeviantArt, like, being so confused because everyone would draw her with blonde hair and blue eyes, and then I saw the movie for the first time. I'd never read the books, and she was not blonde with blue eyes, and I'm like, oh, they pulled a fast one. Turning gingers black just makes me think that someone in the entertainment industry has severe dyslexia. No, you don't understand. They're colorblind. They're red-black colorblind. No BS, I worked at a restaurant. Okay, that was the albino comment. Well, normally, you rock cool outfits, which is sick, of course. I really like the frills and the cutesy outfits. Sundress Midas when? Thank you for the 10. Sean Dunn Can't X. I have a sunflower sundress that's designed, and I showed it off even before I went on hiatus. It belongs to the custom 3D that's supposed to go for, like, the Syndicate concert that's taking forever to produce. It's just one of those forever projects, man. Kawakami. Boss is using this setting to practice for post C9 Bill Canada. Stunning and brave! Thank you, Feral Reaper! So, speaking of, its third reading went through yesterday. Yippee! Fuck! Midas is all VTubers. So, $200 oil barrels, huh? Comida, yes, Comida. It's because I was thirsty, and I decided that I needed an excuse to drink all of the oil, and so I had the Americans bomb and block off oil reserves and steal. And now the Philippines is in dire straits, and England is in dire straits, and all of Europe is in dire straits because I was a little bit thirsty and I needed my oil. Real talk though, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that there's like oil restrictions and driving restrictions. Where was it that you're not allowed to drive on Sundays? Like now, because of the sorry, burp, huge shortage. Yes, there is watch Gran Torino. I don't know what that is. Here's money for your mic, not because I like ASMR, but troll mom dis. I hate you. Go Bob Ross for the ASMR, painting ASMR. Oh, last time I did painting on camera, I dropped paint in my eye. Don't worry, you can borrow my Blue Yeti. I got it. Nah, I'm good. I'll copy. The Midas or Midas looking touchable. We already did that. Maybe someone ought to be outed for being a cannibal. What a wild ride that would be. I mean, that's like part and parcel with, like, Pizzagate, isn't it? The cannibalism and child sex offense. How? You okay? How did you get paint in your eye? It was literally during a broadcast here. I was painting, like, I was still in, like, that closet area. This was before I moved to the bigger room with the better mic setup. I was painting, like, the portrait of my brother holding the rabbit with the rabbit mask on. And I dropped black acrylic paint in my eye. You still talking about Artemis Fowl? True cornerstone of this channel. It'll always come back to this. Look, what can I say? I'm in a bit of a foul mood. Owa, 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 owa. Do all of your models have vampire teeth by chance? Yeah. You can see a little bit of it on this model. But yes, not for any lore reasons, though. It's just because I like fangs. I think that they're a very fun character trait to have. Why would you paint a mask that you're wearing? Are you dumb? I wasn't wearing a mask? I was painting my brother in a mask. I had him pose with the rabbit, and he had the mask on, and I took a picture, and I had that as my reference beside the canvas. And then on stream, on broadcast, I was hand cam painting the thing, but because I was in the corner, I had the canvas up at an angle, and so I was painting upwards. Bangs are now a character trait as opposed to fashion. We were talking about fangs, not bangs. I had 2 extra canines that rode up into my gums. Had to have them surgically removed. Well, if it's like interfering with your quality of life, I get it. But man, that would have been so cool. Gas prices here in the Philippines are high enough to the point where fare and public transport increase. Thankfully, the Jeeps didn't increase due to subsidies being given, except for the tricycle increased. Carl, are you a Filipino? You a goddamn Pinoy? Huh? You like karaoke? Oh, no, wait, don't stick out your tongue. No, hold on. You like karaoke? Hold on, my phone is falling. My tracking's falling. Damn it, now I look like a deviant! Okay, hold on. Do you like singing My Way? Do you have large family gatherings where you have a lot of fried food? Do you consume ube? Don't forget Baloo. Imagine eating. Yes, also never call us Filipinx. I prefer a slur to that. Okay, but real talk, would that not just be a slur then? Ube is good. Oh yeah, no, I love ube. Hey, Carl. Carl, as chat representative, if you see my sister-in-law over there in the Philippines, can you kill her for me? Do you worship the Jolly Bee? I'm gonna say something controversial. Jollibee is celebrated as very good by a lot of people. The spaghetti makes me sick, like physically ill. Like, it's alright, it is like mid-level taste, but after I'm done eating it, I am stuck in the bathroom for hours on end. It is not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. Like, I do not like Jollibee. Their chicken is alright. Like, it's KFC adjacent. Kind of like how Popeyes is KFC adjacent. None of them are the same, but they're all, like, equivalent, right? I don't have a problem with it. I wouldn't, like, eat tons of it. But, like, no, the Jollibee spaghetti, it turns my... It turns me into a Midas is regretty. Thoughts on A&W? Initially, I never was, like, a big fan of A&W just because I didn't have a lot of access to it, and I didn't eat tons of fast food growing up. Like, fast food was, like, the treat because we didn't have fast food joints in my area. You would only get fast food if you're going into town, and only if there wasn't already food prepped at home, and that was, like, once every couple of months. Like, you did not get fast food. You got coffee, or you got a little bit of treat here and there, but you never had meal fast food. You never had burgers, you never had that, or whatever, or fried chicken, only if it was homemade. So, my experience with A&W was on road trips only, and it was never as good as homemade stuff, so I didn't really have a strong opinion on it. However, when I started university, just before getting into VP, I lived uphill from an A&W, And sometimes it would be really hard to get to the grocery market, because that was like an hour walk away, whereas the A&W was a 20-minute walk. So I had A&W daily for like a couple of months at one point. Eventually I was like, yeah, no, this is too expensive, even with my student discount, and I need to do proper groceries. They're better for me anyway. But I developed a big love of the sweet potato fries. And their burgers, they grew on me. They initially were, they're like, they're mid, but like, I don't know. I think if I have fast food burgers now, I gravitate towards the A&W ones, because they're the ones I've had the most of in my life, and they're really good. Well, comparatively. Like, having a McDonald's burger, it's like, ooh, seed oil. Midas maybe didn't try the burgers, mango pie, and pineapple juice. Pineapple juice? I don't know. I feel like I don't like pineapple juice. Plus, for any curious on PH foods, most popular stuff Westerners know outside of is common stuff in Manila. There's more good food outside the capital. Oh, fuck, what's it called? It's that thing that's rolled up and it's tight, and it's got meat in the middle. It's like a, not a wonton wrapper, but fuck, she makes them all the time. She also makes this weird, like, cream noodle hot dog thing. Ugh. Gross. Spring rolls. No, not a spring roll. This is something else. Spring roll is a very different thing from what I'm thinking. There was actually a name for it. Not a tamale. No, I'm talking about something Filipino. No, no, not an egg roll. I'm talking about something very... No, stop it! It's not a spring roll! Pineapple on pizza. Yeah, it's a whole pineapple pizza. Lumpia! Yeah, that's it. Lumpia! Yeah, that's it. Bunger. I wonder. So, those who have never eaten rabbit meat before, it's very much so like chicken in terms of texture, but the taste of like a mixture of like a beefy kind of thing. It's like a tougher chicken, chewier. Chicken nuggets, yes. Chicken strips, yes. Rabbit nuggets, rabbit strips. I gotta tell Mama about that. That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. It's a great idea that I just came up with on the spot. I am innovating in the world of rabbit recipes. Oh my god. Just tenderize the rabbit meat. Just gotta pulverize it a little bit more. Sad fact, McDonald's got in trouble years ago when they said they would change to seed oils, but tried to keep the beef tallow and got caught. Beef tallow is very expensive. Did your Korean boss teach you that rabbits can be eaten? No, my mother and my younger sister conspired because they liked the idea of eating rabbits. Gotta run Stickle Midas, never black pill. I've been working so hard as Midas to never black pill. I am in a constant state of sometimes being in a black pill, but not all the time. You know what I am black pilling on? Fucking Maid. Another story came out a couple days ago. I think it was in Spain. A girl, for some reason, had to be in like a halfway house or like a help center, and that help center, she was like 15, and that help center had migrants in it that had just arrived in the country. They were called unaccompanied minors, but they were all adult immigrants. I don't know why they were initially reported as unaccompanied minors, but the story eventually got corrected to say that they were just adult immigrants, and she was gang raped by them, and she asked for help by the police, and they did nothing because they didn't want to get in trouble for jailing these immigrants. And then they raped her a second time, and then she you know, while in the hospital healing from these injuries, she was depressed and wanting help. She reached out, tried to find family, all sorts of things. The government offered her assisted suicide, and she took it. She took it at 15. Guys, the government will allow people to rape you, and then it will kill you as a punishment while your rapists go free. In Canada, oh, there was like another situation recently where there was a woman who, you are told that up until the last second you can pull out a maid. Like, you are told that over and over again. You can do maid, but like up until the last second you could be like, I changed my mind and we'll stop. A woman wanted to stop, and they said, we can't. We are too far in the process. I'm so sorry. And they killed her the next day. The process was that they had already sold her organs while she was alive and asking to stay alive. I am not shitting you. Like, I saw that yesterday as well, and I'm like, ah. And as well, the government of Canada has dropped ads for assisted suicide. Like, genuinely, like, they dropped, like, cool, like, spiritual hippie guru ads romanticizing their assisted suicide program. Like, what world do we live in where you get cute woo-woo ads about assisted suicide? Like, it starts off with, how do I imagine my final days? And it's beautiful, and there's a woman running in a forest with sparklers and sunsets, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, Midas, when you were applying for jobs and getting rejected time and time again, how did you find the light to keep going and applying? Well, honestly, because I knew that I was young and sturdy enough that I had that on my side. I probably would have lost hope if I was old and decrepit, but if you are under 40, there will always be somebody willing to take advantage of you and abuse you for pennies. You just have to keep looking. Is it ideal? No. But as long as you're under 40, you have a chance. Once you're over 40, you offer zero value to those who want to abuse and take advantage of you. Now, that was like in the job market when I lost my bakery job, and I was very sad about that. I couldn't get work no matter what the fuck I did. But in regards to VTubing, what kept me going was probably some neuroticism and insanity. I'm not very proud of it. Probably the same urge that drives me to make a billion alts for every character that I want to LARP as that day. But I got to round 2 of the V-Shoujo audition that Haruka Caribou ultimately got into, and I will say I was so pissed I didn't get paid off. When I heard other people got paid off, I was so angry. But that little spark was like, it was like the second VTuber agency I ever applied to, right? Out of 77. But that one was just like, oh my god. Not only was it like, did they look at my stuff, they saw something that meant that going to round 2 made me worth something. They thought I was interesting. I just got to push a little bit harder because something is there. I can be something interesting for people. They acknowledged me, so there's something there. And so at that point, it was like I got like an adrenaline high every time I applied somewhere. And it was like a gambling crash. Like you're rolling dice, you toss them, and sometimes you hit like the lucky numbers, and most of the time you don't. And it was that same kind of rush. You're pulling the slots. And every time I would get an interview, it's like hyper excited, hyper excited. And then after I fail, huge crash. And then I would apply to 3 more. Like, it was crazy. At the very end, I was so burnt on it and so sucked of my life that the last 5 places I applied for, it was super slow and super intentional. And it was like, yeah, after this, like, these last few places, they've all been like, I've been so close on all of them. And all of them, it's at the same thing. And people are telling me the same thing over and over again about how gross my voice is. Like, that was the #1 complaint that I would get from places. That, not even like the quality of my mic, because mic quality fluctuates over time and space and whatever, but like, it would just be that I have an unmarketable voice. Like, the sound of my voice is not traditionally very anime. And I can put on a character, but nobody likes the character voice. It's just... So I was really black-pilled and real doomed. And I'm like, okay, well, final place was my final place, right? Like, application 77 was like, yeah, I've officially gotten so tired of this, and Midas is doing well enough as an indie that I will put, like, a time limit on whatever and see what goes on, and maybe I'll do Midas for a couple more months while I'm looking for an IRL job. Maybe VTubing just really isn't for me. And then I got, you know, my new job. And so, instead of retiring Midas, Midas is still around, and now I have a job. First time viewer, your voice is fine. You'd think that. Oh my god, fucking... barely remember the name of the company now, but there was one famous email. I was applying to... The name of them escapes me. They were a Chinese company that ended up losing all of their talents. Man. Aurora Live VR. I remember I applied for Aurora Live VR. And I never asked for, like, anything. Because it's kind of tacky to ask people for advice via audition email. If you didn't get in, you didn't get in. If you send recruiters, like, what did I do wrong? How can I improve? 100 times out of 100, you'll be added to that company's blacklist forever. Like, straight up. Because that's the most annoying, time-wasting shit, and they don't want to do it. If they offer it, that's very sweet of them. But if they don't offer it, and you failed the first round, or even failed the second round, it's very tacky to do. That said, Aurora Live VR, without prompting, actually gave me some feedback. And I think they were the first place ever that straight up just said to me that the sound of my voice was, and I quote, highly unpleasant, and they didn't like it. It was like, oh, okay. Oh. That was like the first of multiple times that I've heard that criticism. Better than not knowing? No! That's not better than not know. Worst thing she can say is no. Nobody likes, unwarranted, unasked for criticism about something they can't change about themselves. Right? Like, what if I had my nose chopped off in an industrial accident? I know that my nose isn't a traditional nose. I don't need you to point and stare at it in the grocery store and go, oh my god, you look like that one guy from Fallout. You're so scary and ugly. Nobody's ever gonna want to procreate with you because you're noseless. What, are you gonna give them a nose hole job, you sick skeletoid freak? Like, you don't want to hear that at the grocery store at No Frills. No, try to buy your groceries. You may be a noseless freak, but you can't help that. Maybe you put a prosthetic on it, but it's just, you can't help it, you know? And my voice, like, it's the same thing. I was born with this voice. Only way it changes is if I decide to go on some insane hormone chemicals, get physical throat surgery, or voice act. And I could do all three of those, but I would really rather not. You know, I would like people to just like what I do. Honestly, your voice is like coffee. It takes getting used to. Thanks. But once you do, it's distinct and memorable. I'll take it. I'll take it. If there was an oil crisis, you would have seen this 4 years ago when Ukraine got attacked. It's all superficial market. It's just kill or kill, kill or be killed. No right or wrong. You're right about that specifically. It's all a political game. It's all monetary markets. It's all about holding power over people, weakening them, destroying their morale, removing their ability to do mundane life things. So when it comes time for a fake and gay war that they want to recruit the populace for, they've got a society of people that are begging for anything that they'll do. Like, they want this to be over. They want their lives back. They'll do anything, right? Oh, unrelated. Did you hear that the U.S. Upped the maximum recruitment age? It used to be 25 and now it's 40. Do note though, this isn't the draft age. The draft age is still 25 currently. But that was a recent change they did. Do you hate your own voice? Oh, I do. I very much so do hate my own voice. It is like my biggest insecurity, genuinely. Awesome, saw a stream, Midas. Well, Joey does again. Thank you so much for the 4 bits. Thank you for the word. Philippines mentioned, yes, Yui. I have to check out stuff to do. Take care. Have a good one. Yeah, the cutoff for enlistment used to be 35. Okay. Hello, Midas. Nice enough to see you. I'm finally up late enough to catch one of these. Oh. Again, love from Washington State. Did they still have the political statues up in Washington State? They've been tearing down all of the political statues in Canada. I don't think I've ever seen a Sir Johnny MacDonald statue in real life. Can you name the source of that story of yours with the hospital selling the maid girl's organs so she couldn't back out? I believe you, but I can't find anything about it online. I'd like to share it. Young streaming, as I said earlier, I just saw it on Twitter. Like, I'd have to scroll my feed. But if I find it again, I will retweet it with a dot. When I see maid-related stories, typically I like to quote retweet them with a dot, not to, like, put any opinions on them, but to show my audience. So, keep an eye on my Twitter, and if I find it again, I'll let you have it. Your voice is fun. I don't know what corpos look for in VTubers. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of high-pitched voice acting. A lot of times, when corpos are looking for VTubers, they're looking for very specific character archetypes to be filled. So, unless it's a brand new company, okay, there's 2 types of hiring for VTuber companies. There is old established company, which is 2nd gen onwards. Your voice is, and how real you are as a person is what got me to watch you regularly. You have a great voice and are a wonderful person, keeping you, and no black pills! Okay, fine, Steven. Fine. No, I get to black pill as a treat. Screw you. Cleo's the same way about her, so I can fall asleep to her voice. Yours is really nice to listen to. I love Cleo. I don't know a ton about her, but I hope to be able to reach out to her someday. She's very sweet. Cleo gives the vibe of an older sister. Like, I can't explain it. Anyway, 2 types of corporate VTuber casting types. So there's the established corpo who's looking to fill a hole. So when you've got a cast of characters already, typically you have content types that fill different niches that appeal to different audiences. Like, you've got the ASMR artist, you've got the art artist, you got the musician, you've got the funny gremlin, you've got the cool sexy, you've got the quirky sexy, you got all whatever, right? So, okay, well, I've got all those, but I don't have an FPS gamer. All right, I'm not gonna tell people I'm looking for an FPS gamer, but I'm going to be looking for one. All right, I've got like 50 high-pitched women. I need one deep-voiced woman. Like, that is genuinely how they recruit. They have different characteristics in their brain that they pick and choose for. So, typically, when applying for an established company, I am more of a jack of all trades. Like, I do the 3D thing. I do the 2D thing. I sing, I draw, I rig, I run around, do a little dance. I'm not an expert at any one field, but I excel in many. And that makes me very hard to pinpoint as, like, a character. Because I haven't been playing many characters in VTubing. I've been kind of milquetoast and safe and trying to appeal to everyone. And so, if I don't have the exact sound, then it's game over, right? Now, the second kind is brand new company. Brand new company. And typically when it's brand new company, they either have 0 characters already pre-made, or they have exclusively characters pre-made. Now, bigger company, they're looking for niche fillers. They may or may not have pre-made characters made. But for new company may or may not have characters made. And they're looking to fill that. They're not looking for a niche. They're looking for their guy, basically. If they have pre-mates, they're looking for the most suitable sound for the visual, not necessarily a content type. So that is more specific like type 1. But if they've got nothing but ideas, then ground floor is basically the only place that takes somebody that doesn't fit anywhere else. So you kind of become the niche. Definitely not making a little love though. Shut up, Red Hair Cross. Yeah, the voice type in demand for male VTubers is either bassier than a car stereo or a soft femboy. It's difficult. I feel like there is an in-between. Like, I would say, well, Underhill isn't around anymore, but Mr. Underhill is a male VTuber that isn't bassy or femboy. He's very, he's Bishonen light voice. Same with Ike Eveland. Neither of them are femboys. They're, like, soft men, right? That's a very kind of specific. I will say, in my experience, a lot of male VTubers fail because they don't have big back catalogs of good content. They tweet too much. They rely too much in collaborations and not solo content. They have bad audio quality. And audition reels that I've seen, except for very few of them, I have seen incredible audition reels, but most of those are female. I've seen maybe one good male audition reel in my entire career. And that was not entirely because I helped the person make it, but this person had a lot of assistance. I want you to understand, guys, if you are a male VTuber and you want to get in the scene, that your audition reel tells people about your character. It, like, not like the character you're LARPing, but the character, your personality, how you're selling yourself, how they can expect you to be. And more often than not, a lot of male VTuber audition reels are, hold on. I have seen over and over again, like, hold on. I need a blank wall, hold on. Blank wall. No video editing. Maybe even a black wall sometimes. Center screen. Hold on. Small No character acting. Looking straight at the camera, arms not moving, mouth, head not moving, doing nothing. Just looking forward and going. Well, sometimes there'll be a little wave. They'll be like, hello. Wait, hold on.
Hello, I'm looking forward to being part of your company.
Really obvious audio cut where the new company word is re-recorded over top of, but it's very clearly a reused audition reel that was for another company.
I want to be your VTuber because I would like to make good content and have a community with you. I feel like you could make me the best version of me that I can be. I have been VTubing for...
Like, it feels like a high school kid's essay, right? It feels like a high school kid's essay, and there's no, like, motion. There's no vibe. All of the best VTuber reels that I've seen out there are ones where it feels like you're watching a live stream. Like, where it feels dynamic, where it doesn't feel like there's a script, like a really shitty, like, maybe it's, like, cobbled together, there's points, but it doesn't feel like you're being talked at. It feels like you're getting a performance. Because that's what it is, ultimately. You're trying to perform. You want them to see, who you could be for them. Midas, you blew your volume. That's the point! Hello, Red Joker. Wonder if it would be entertaining to watch rejected applicant videos. Would you guys want to do that? Do you guys want a broadcast where one day I go over user-submitted audition reels, failed audition reels for companies? I could split it between two sections, male audition reels and female audition reels, and I could give you guys like a grading system. Gotta go for the night. Good night, everyone. Good night, Doc. Midas owes everyone a new set of headphones. Nuh-uh. Hola. Hello. Like a John Madden play-by-play. Yeah, sportscaster. User submitted, just so it's not blank. No, I just said user submitted. I wouldn't submit mine. It's exactly like you described. Like, no shade, but 100% you would not be hired if you did it like that. As long as it's constructive. I typically don't bully. Like, in an unwarranted fashion. Everything would be done under the assumption of, yeah, this is like art school critique, kinda. Like, we're going over where you did good and what failed you. Hey guys, look at this fucking loser! No. In exchange, I will also show off my failed reels, like my bad ones. Just so that, like, people aren't like, it's so bad. It's just like, no, I'd allow, like, I'd probably start off with a failed reel of mine. Bullying isn't cool, it's usually boring. Well, this wouldn't be bullying. This would only happen if you guys want, like, a critique as to how you can improve your audition reels. Yeah. But one advice I'll just give, a general piece of advice. You are there to entertain them. If they are not entertained, they click away. And you need to have good audio quality, because if you don't have good audio quality, they won't even bother looking at you past 5 seconds. If your audio quality is bad and you don't have the voice they're looking for, they know within the first 5 seconds, and they click away. Companies filter based on written stuff, so if you get past the written portion, they watch your video. Now, historically, they would just watch the unlisted YouTube videos, but now I think there's a method they're using where you can't tell if they've watched it or not. But historically, you could tell how long the view they gave you was. But some companies, like, have an auto-downloader now. Like, I've heard that HoloLive, so that you don't know if they've watched your audition reel, they have, like, an auto-downloader. So you will forever have 0 views on your HoloLive auditions now. But for other companies, most people don't use auto-downloaders, but some do. If you have a view that's 5 to 10 seconds, that typically means they didn't like the way your voice sounded. Like, be it your audio quality was off, or you just didn't fit a predestined character design that they had in mind, or they already had somebody that was just a little bit better than you in their mind. So, however, if you reach about 20 to 30 seconds, that typically means, oh, they like the sound of your voice. They might have put you in a second pile so that they can watch it again and sort you amongst other things. And then if you get a third view that's the same length or longer, then you can be a bit more hopeful. If they watch your entire video, that is very good. You are more likely than not to get feedback, be it an interview or, at the very least, future correspondence, but that's not a guarantee. Does Burnt Peanut count as a VTuber? He counts as somebody that can suck my balls. I wondered yesterday, do streamers have a sense of the personality of their viewers from what they type? Yeah, I know that Necro's a piece of crap and he can die. But yeah, a lot of chatters have their own typing quirks, and you can often recognize people, sometimes not even by their username, but just how they type. And if you type in a chat frequently, even if there's like hundreds of people in a stream, sometimes even thousands, if you are in every single stream, like every single broadcast, every single, like, VTubers do see that. Like, they do read their chat, believe it or not, even if they're not responding to things out loud. And if they see your username over and over and over and over again, even if they don't respond a single time, they know you're there. Like, they do remember you. Like, be a little bit delusional and think that you will be missed, because, like, I have some larger associates that I know that to this day are like, hell, I even think Pippa talked about this on Twitter the other day, talking about a chatter that she used to have all the time that may or may not be dead now. Oh god, she remembers this. Yeah, buddy! Mayoshi's retarded. She probably doesn't know it. Well, you know, I'm never gonna have the benefit of being remembered by Mayoshi's because I am a lurker. I lurk in chat because I don't like being perceived. Although, mostly nowadays, initially the lurking was just, I don't have anything to say, but now the lurking is, oh, well, I'm not on an alt, I'm on my VTuber, and I don't want chat to go, oh my god, VTuber is here, and then have the streamer get angry at me because I distracted them. My Oshi remembers me. Ooh, yeah, Kavinsky, your Oshi absolutely remembers you. Zuzu was talking about it the other day as well, saying she was crying because she hasn't seen an old head in a while. Yep. Never surrender. Lol, 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 lol. Yeah. Would it be strange if I called you an Oshi? Well, I mean, it could be like, it could be cordial Oshis. My Oshi, can you give me $15? I will give you a bullet. I will give you a bullet through the back of the boner. You will die. My Oshi hates me. Yeah, I bet your Oshi does, Vinyl. Thoughts on keeping your extracted teeth? I have a wisdom tooth extracted whole. Now I have it here on my desktop as a trinket. All 4 of my wisdom teeth had to be pulled because they were rotting and going septic. Like, and they were causing me, like, medical issues. I have all 4 of them, and all 4 of them are pitch black with a billion holes, and they are, like, on a shelf on my wall in my childhood bedroom. They're, like, evil, fucked up teeth. Like, I keep them as a reminder to brush my teeth. I like to think I'm remembered. I mean, being known as a regular would make me happy enough. I'll get back on my video editor once my life situation resolved. Des, trust me, at least you'll be remembered over here. You know, one of my very earliest viewers, like my legitimately day one viewer one, he went by Dragon. And that was years ago. And he was also the very first guy to ever, like, just, on Twitch, you can throw bits. He gave me, like, 10 bits, and I didn't know what bits were called, and I called them rocks. And so I was like, oh my god, the dragon is throwing rocks at me, what the fuck? Yeah, he just vanished one day after I hit 100 followers on Twitch. The first time. I think about him once in a while, and I wonder if he's, like, dead. I didn't know anything about him. He just came to every single one of my streams, then he vanished. I think it's more likely than not that he was a micro chaser. Now, micro chasers are people that exclusively only watch micro indies because they like the one-on-one because it feels like the super parasocial. Yeah. They're not always creeps, but they do have a specific thing that they want out of their viewership, you know. Watching live is more unhinged than watching shorts. Huh? Yeah, you want to watch my... You're looking at my shorts? You're looking at... Eat my shorts? Eat my shorts? You fucking bozo. Your mother know that you type with that hand? You see that 2-view chat? You can adopt them. No, people genuinely do that. Like, pretty exclusively, my earliest viewers were other micro VTubers and, yeah. People that just wanted their own personal buddy. Am I broken for loving how unhinges she is, chat? Chat, am I broken for being dyslexic and not being able to read your fucking chat? Ah! One view groomed. Yeah, kinda. You say don't have a cow, man. Don't have a cow, man. I don't like being eye contact, but my boss is not looking at people in the eyes disrespectful, and I'm just nodding. Bricklebrack, you have the split eye Pepe as your PFP. I 100% believe that you cannot make eye contact. That's okay. You shouldn't need to. If you're doing your work and you're actually listening and paying attention, responding respectfully, I don't think eye contact really should be, like, a necessity. I don't know, it's just a society. Like, society! Batman! Batman. There's no laws against Pokemon, Batman. Thoughts on the king in yellow? Very fashionable. So glad to see you, hun. You made my night. Ah, salute to you. Salute to you, BMW. I have seen someone in your chat claiming to be bedridden due to a terminal illness and that the cast he was watching would be his last. It was before your hiatus. I still think about that chatter sometimes. Nothing's forever, guys. Nothing's forever, but you can appreciate the people in the now while they're here, you know? During my time as a VTuber, I've seen more people die or vanish or say that they're gonna die than I ever thought I would. It's just one of those things. Men need to give eye contact. We don't get a choice. Okay. When should a VTuber give up? I'm the wrong person to ask, Drazzy. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm, you know that meme? You know that meme of the guy with the text that says, "We have long since passed the time we should have stopped. So let's keep going and see what the fuck happens. Yeah, I embody that. I don't know. 5 years. 5 years. 5 years plus 6 months. The 5 years is when you start your countdown for 6 months. And then after 6 months, be like, all right, maybe I'm not a VTuber. Because that was what my limit was going to be. My limit was 5 years of no success plus the 6 months of wind down to tie off loose ends. Which ended up turning into, oh, well, I guess I'm just fucking here now. But yeah. I don't know. I want to learn about bears and rabbits. Go to a gay club. I don't know. Does having a unique PFP make you more memorable to a streamer? No, but having a weird and short name does. PFP doesn't matter so much because sometimes our user interfaces gets rid of PFPs. But, like, I remember Jeffrey Epstein, right? Jeffrey Epstein just became a member. He knows ball, right? But, like, he's constantly commenting, and I see him almost every single broadcast. Like, I remember Chatter Jeffrey Epstein because that's a fucking crazy name, right? The MS-DOS, is my name memorable? Is my name memorable? Yeah, because, like, you're like Microsoft DOS box. Like, I'd say... Oh, sorry, I'm being chilly. That's a good one. Grey Tide, that's a good name. Desu, I could never forget Des. Ding1466, I feel like if I saw you very often, if I saw your name over and over again, I would remember Ding specifically. A lot of YouTubers quit before they make it through the grind. A lot start their own business. You have to keep at it to be successful. Yeah, I would say now that I've figured out how growth works, I'm in a different mindset now, but I feel like a lot of my frustration came from fundamental misunderstandings on the creator side of things. Like, a misunderstanding as to the difference between what I like to do versus what people want to see. Because I took VTubing too much from the perspective of, I'm just vibing. Why isn't it working? I'm vibing just like how all the other people are vibing. They seem to be having a good time. I'm having a good time and it's not working. And I failed to realize that they were doing calculated things every single time. Not like necessarily manipulating their audience, but like they were making active decisions as to who they wanted to become. Whereas I was kind of just existing. And they were also treating it like a full-time job with the amount of shit they would pump out secondarily on multiple different platforms. I was never doing secondary platforms, but now I'm doing like tertiary platforms. Yeah. Yeah. I wish to become a Chinese man. I'm in a very Chinese time of my life. Jack off all trades. Wow, that's quite the accomplishment. They'll call you Bonnie Blue. Are you on Kick? Not as Midas. I was doing some experimentation. And I found out some very interesting things about how Kick's algorithm works. Bro, my friend sent me a pic of her today, and why does she look like that? She looks very tired, and like she abuses drugs. I can't confirm or deny that she does, but to do the things that she does, she probably needs them. What would Midas look like if she was black or Chinese? Well, I probably wouldn't be Midas if I was black or Chinese. I would probably be something else.
the hell is it with white women wanting to be Chinese? Hey, I never claimed I wanted to be anything. I just am what I am. You know? And I don't feel the appeal of, I don't feel race envy, if that makes sense. I know there is a phenomena of people feeling white guilt and race envy, wishing they could be something they're not. That is not a practical way to live your life. Once the computer turns off, I have to deal with my life, you know? What's the point in worrying about the consequence of my skin color when I have rabbits to feed? When I have family I need to take care of? You're not transracial. Get with the times, boomer. Boomer? I don't even know her. Anyway. Boom, sexy woman again. Oh, oh, ooh, you are being hypnotized by sexy older woman. Ooh, ooh. What were we talking about? Point of curiosity, why the choice of yellow as a design motif? Seldom few people gravitate towards it. Genuinely, that's why. Like, when I went with yellow, it was, I want to design a character with a limited color palette, and I exclusively use reds. When I draw reds and blues, I never use yellow, so it was an art design challenge for me. Like, that was as deep as it went, and nothing else. It was just like, huh, I can make a character with only yellow. Neat. What's your opinion on the 1996 Chevy Impala SS? I don't have one. Hold on. Let me Google that real quick. Just kidding. I'm gonna Bing it. Let me Bing this. I mean, it's all right. No strong opinions. Why? Is it tied to something historical? It's cool and all, but the piss in the mouth is throwing me off. Well, that's too damn bad! No DuckDuckGo. No, because it's stupid. Hate DuckDuckGo. It's just as bad as the rest of them. It's just reskinned Google Chrome. Thoughts on Ultra Kill? The video game? Many Asian women, especially between Chinese women, like the idea of being white or having white kids. They can be quite spiteful towards half-us who look Asian. Can be so real. That's why I fucking hate my sister-in-law. That's why I hate my sister-in-law. That was entirely... I do not like that woman. She uses bleach soap on her kids. Like, I hate that fucking woman so much. Like, not to be, like, super too personal about my life, but, like, I hate that woman. Every time she got pregnant, I would go to Momdis and I'd be like, I hope this is the time that she dies in childbirth. And then I'd get smacked upside the head. Like, you can't say that. She's gone through a lot. She's a good person. And she's like, I don't give a shit. I hate her and I want her to die. Oh, but your brother loves her. Man. The mother of his children. I don't give a shit. I'll adopt her kids. I want her to die. And she ruined your 50th birthday cake. They're just children. Why would they do that? Oh yeah, and then she does like the thing where she pinches their nose to make it smaller. And she throws like shoes at them. I don't know. Yeah, okay, one can say different culture, different society, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with it.
extreme brocon moment. No. Don't get it twisted. I don't want anything to do with my brother. I'm just gonna adopt his kids. I'm gonna steal them. Why so much hate in your heart? I hate to tell you this, but this is the ranting channel. This is the vent channel. I don't know what you expected, man. Like, are you disappointed that I'm ranting on the rant channel? Have you considered a gentle castration? Have you considered a Prince Julius? What if I got some like metal wire and I like threaded it under the top 2 layers of your skin? Not all the layers of your skin, the top 2 layers. And I started stitching. And I stitched some beautifully intricate patterns, almost like I was giving you a tattoo, except I wasn't. And it wasn't nice, gentle, medical red thread that's used for aesthetics. It's metal. It's metal, and so it actually cuts the inside under your skin, and it doesn't heal. It's a perpetual wound. And then, in the entry and exit holes on the beautiful patterns, I just sponge delicately some vinegar, some lemon juice. Yeah, I think that would be quite lovely. All the way up your spine, all the way down your torso, wrapped around. Lots and lots of threads. And then, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna strap you in a chair, and I'm gonna get the taser, and I'm going to get the thread that is sticking out of your asshole and shock it so that you have burns all the way cascading around your body and you're gonna fucking die. I don't even remember who I was talking to, to be so honest. I don't even remember which chatter I was talking to or why they went through this experience, but I hope you enjoyed it. What did I just walk into? Well, retard James Moore, I don't know. But you probably belong here. You wouldn't do that to me, Auntie. No, I wouldn't do that to you, Bricklebrack. No. I wouldn't. I would feel bad because, like, I would look up and then you'd be scared because you wouldn't be able to make eye contact with me. Would you say I belong here, boss? Kavinsky, you are a sweet summer child, and I think you're quite sweet. I think you belong here, but, like, in a curious, horrified observer kind of way. I second making that as an ASMR. Look, if you clip that and you post it as an ASMR, it's on you. Did you know that Kirsha also auditioned for Phase Connect? I did not. Artemis Fowl, book or movie? The books are fun. Movie is worse than being hate crime. Yeah, that summarizes it. That summarizes it. Do I belong here? Why is everybody asking if they belong here? You are the native citizens of Midas Nation. Speaking of, I've been reading the books again now that I've settled my new place. Oh, what book are you on? My favorite Artemis Fowl books are book 3 and book 4, followed by book 7, then book 6. No, yes. Book 5 I think is my least favorite. Book 1 actually I think ties with book 6 for me, although book 1 is important and I do like to reread it at least once a year because it is the tone setter for the series. I only read the Artemis Fowl books. Are the movies as bad as expected? There was only ever one movie made, and I think I'd rather blow off my head with a sawed-off shotgun than watch it for a third time. Midas Nation? We need a better name like Pipekistan. I don't know, man. Anyway, do you guys want, here, I'll give you, if you haven't read the Artemis Fowl novel, the first book, whatever it compelled you to watch it a second time, I was doing a watch along with chat. Anyway, there. The link I just posted is the first Artemis Fowl book. Please read it. This is your homework. Boss's goons. Goons sounds suspiciously familiar to something else. Might Asia? Wasn't Midas the king of Lydia? Homework? I can't be a tutor anymore! Sorry, I can't add much to this topic conversation. Not really reading more. That's fine, more. Read the first one as a child. Midas from talking about it in the movie made me read the rest. Again, like, some of the books are stronger than others. And I will say that Owen Colfer's politics do sometimes seep into the writing. But, I'd say that J.K. Rowling and Owen Colfer on opposite sides of the political spectrum. Like, I would say if J.K. is right-leaning centric, Owen Colfer is left-leaning centric. Not like all the way on either side, but they're like on the side of the middles. And they both kind of dance around their politics sometimes, but they try to keep it out of their novels, though sometimes Owen Colfer can't help himself. Like, I don't know, the 7th book was it was so fucking funny. I was just thinking about it before broadcast today, actually. Because book 7, he's literally like, oh my god, Artemis Fowl is like the next Elon Musk. He is like the best, smartest, coolest future dude. And they're best buddies. He calls Elon, he hangs with Elon. I really, really like, that's so funny. Rowling is woke as fuck. Okay. Comparatively. This is comparatively, okay? Maybe they're both technically on the left spectrum, but Rowling is right of Colfer. Anyway. Artemis Fowl being Irish is such a W. Oh yeah, it's very cool of him. Anyway. But like, Owen Colfer is the kind of guy that goes back and he retroactively changes his novels and new editions. Like, when David Bowie died, he went back and he changed the Fowl Files. Because Artemis Fowl had like a fake interview in the Fowl Files where he mentioned his favorite musician was David Bowie. Favorite non-classical musician was David Bowie. And then he listed a bunch of reasons and talked about how one day he wants to talk and have a conversation with him. Then when David Bowie died, Colfer went in retroactively and wrote, he was a great musician and I wish that I had had the opportunity to converse with him. So I need a new edition of Book 7 because I'm collecting all of the different editions out there. I'm trying to get them in different languages and different art prints, different year prints. I want to see if any new edition Book 7s have changed, if Artemis Fowl still likes Elon Musk. Oh, okay, y'all gonna correct me and say Bowie? You gonna correct me and say Bowie? I'm gonna head out. Thanks for the stream. Have a good one, Ding, and it's a broadcast. Most reasonable spending by a VTuber. I hate pop vinyls, but the only pop vinyls I own are the Artemis Fowl ones because there's so little official merch out there that exists, like, genuinely. In, like, the over 20 years that the franchise has existed, like, those ugly, hideous pop vinyls are some of the only official licensed merch we've ever gotten, so I had to get all of them. David Bowie's the singer? Yeah. Do you have a bookshelf for Artemis Fowl books then? I have a storage tub for them. I have half of the first editions, like the ones that look like they're ancient spell books. I have a lot of the first rerun Disney hyperinprints, where they have like the weird futuristic, almost Frutiger Aero aesthetic, but with like people and everything's funky looking. I've got one copy of the Orange Run, and now Disney's re-released it again with two more visuals, and one of them is this gorgeous like illustrative style. And I think honestly, even though I hate Disney, I love the art for the illustrative style, so I want to collect some of those. But I'll only get them secondhand because I don't want to give them any new money. The Chinese versions are fucking gorgeous. You can line up all of the Chinese Artemis Fowl books, and it creates one huge, long, massive portrait. It's so pretty. I want to collect those. And the Japanese covers, they are so cool. Remember Aragorn? Aragon. I only watched, I read the first Aragon book. I never read the rest. Oh shit, Artemis Fowl's greatest defender is logged on. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's interesting because, like, again, like his politics invade his books. Like, you'll be reading, it's like, haha, he's on a wacky adventure, and then all of a sudden it's like, and we need to talk about deforestation and the Amazon and how all the animals are dying and going extinct. It's like, oh, okay, this is Owen Colfer talking. We are suddenly no longer in the storyland. Or, like, Book 7 again, it's just like, the polar ice caps are melting. I, Artemis Fowl, the new Elon Musk, am going to create a machine that makes it snow up north in the Arctic. I also suffer from multiple personality disorder now, for some reason. But also, I will single-handedly save the world from global warming with my nuke that is actually a snow nuke. It's just like, shut the fuck up, Colfer. Go back to the stupid fairy adventure. No, wait, Artemis Fowl's altars, only one. He has one altar, and his name is Orion. And his altar was whimsical and silly, and was romantic and did poetry, and it pissed Artemis off to the point where he killed his altar forcibly. Pretty good. I don't know. Oh, is Syl in here? Pipsqueak. Why, hello, Pipsqueak. Lovely name. Lovely name. Audie Saishi, thank you for the 1K bits. I'm catching up on Twitch. My Twitch chat is so far behind, actually. Gosh, Midas is play. Yeah, okay, hi, Sal. Bet $20 the altar is playing dead as a prank. No, because you don't understand. They used magic to obliterate the altar and, like, mesh him into Artemis. Dumb. It was fun. But that book was interesting because it dealt with, like, the hypothetical of, okay, well, what if an immortal fairy fell in love with a human? What would he do? And then the fairy himself was like, well, I'm going to, like, destroy the world and get all the technology and kill a bunch of people and do all this bad stuff in an attempt to make my wife immortal, even though she's, like, ancient and she's dying. And I thought that was always a fun premise. You know, every time I disagree with the creative choice that Owen Colfer has done, he makes up for it in spades with everything else in the novel. Like, I can't hate the guy. I remember reading Artemis Fowl graphic novel, first chapter, when I was like 12 and thinking Holly was hot. The graphic novel, Holly was, she was hot. Would Artemis Fowl know what 6-7 is? Artemis wouldn't, but Orion would. Although in one book, I think it was book 3, Artemis LARPed as a normal teenager to break into a bank, and he had a skateboard and a phone. He was going totes, oh my god, like he was LARPing as a stupid teenager, and it was the funniest thing. Also in book 7, when he had the very temporary multi-personality disorder, his mother got him like a millennial cringe word shirt that said something dumb like randomosity, I think is what it said. Artemis fowl currently Unk status. Now, it's interesting because there's time travel in the series, so his age isn't actually properly tamped down. We assume that he's in his 20s, but physically, he's in his late teens. You talk so much shit on other people's writing. I'm kind of just curious to see some of yours. Prof. Kate, I'm not talking shit on the writing. I'm talking shit on the themes. If I hated the writing, I wouldn't have read the book series. How do you do, foul kids? The more you describe these, the more I think I was ready to stop it too. No officers. Oh, in book 4, he goes back in time to fight the 10-year-old version of himself. Because the 10-year-old version of himself is trying to make a monkey, like a monkey species go extinct by selling them to poachers that like to eat animals that are about to go extinct. And it's like a cafe of like people that like to eat rare exotic creatures. Like they've got the they all ate woolly mammoth steaks at the beginning, and then this is the last goldfish of its kind, and I have served it up to you on a plate. And Artemis is like, here, I like money. I need to make money so that I can go on an expedition to Russia and see if they've killed my father yet. I don't give a shit about this monkey. And so, current timeline Artemis is like, oh shit, this monkey has the saliva that will save my mother from fairy cancer. Why did I do that? I should never have made this monkey go extinct. I gotta go back in time and save it. And then he fights with himself as a child. And then he also makes out with the fairy. And then he gets caught by his child self. Hello, Midas. Hello, Bramble. I remember the plot line. It was crazy. Oh, right, but his mother didn't have fairy cancer. It was actually fake. He didn't know that, but he was tricked by an evil fairy that was faking the fairy cancer symptoms. Hold on, do a flip. I gotta do a flip. 1 second. There we go. Be an interesting business idea. Just clone almost extinct species and sell the clone meat. Oh, there was also a clone subplot where Artemis had a clone body of Opal Cowboy, where he was training her how to speak, and she was kind of like a stupid pet animal. Opal Cowboy's like the big bad guy of the series. She's like the Voldemort. Anyone here try the Big Arc Burger yet? I haven't tried it because we don't have McDonald's here. Was the evil fairy hot? Oh, evil fairy always hot. At least you don't flash your panties every 5 minutes like Fillion. Why would I want to? Why would I want to? Besides, I wear pants. I got nothing to flash. I'm no pervert. I'm no pervert. And speaking of Fillion, what happened to her? She's been gone for like 5 months. Have a good night, lettuce! That wasn't a flip, that was you tapping yourself for mana. I remember a few plot points here and there. Most memorable was Butler going 1v1 against a troll wearing medieval armor. Oh, that was in book 1. Yeah, that was a good one. She died old like Mutwall. Artemis being willing to do that is what I love about his character. Bone Mogs, honestly. Smiley would pull Artemis's teeth out. God, I haven't thought about the Bone book series in years. Can't believe Midas is an ID. Talking about. Heard Villy, our ARG thing is almost wrapped up. Big events in your Discord, Minecraft server. Okay. I'm just waiting for somebody to do like the 2-hour-long ARG explain video because it's too far into it for me to catch up at this point. Remember Amulet? Well, that's an elementary school throwback. I never finished the series. They only ever had like the first 3 books there. Somehow Fillion returned. Is Fillion back? I don't know. No, it's a Palpatine reference. Okay, okay. Here, I thought she was resting. Had no idea it was an ARG. Oh no, it's a very extensive ARG. Any comic books you enjoy, boss? I used to like Batman. I used to really like the different Batman series. I don't like Batman anymore, though. Can't do it anymore. Modern Batman writing is painful. Sam & Max Freelance Police? Wasn't Sam & Max like a game? No, I never read Keys to the Kingdom. Alright, guys. I think it's about ready to wrap up. What do you think? My parents are dead. Yeah. Corm, if you're around, can you post the Discord link on Twitch and YouTube if you're on both or on one, do the one? I'm gonna find somebody to raid on Twitch. On Twitch.tv. Actually, before we raid, you're under arrest. Come with me quietly. You sick freak. You're getting locked away for a long time. There's your bunk. I hope you can sleep at night after what you've done. Disgusting. Freaks like you are why society is degrading. I hope you meet Bubba. He's very friendly with the new people. Do 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 brum 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 brum. Looking for somebody to raid a do. Oh, Ray is alive. That's right, it's her event. Bye, Twitch. Alright, YouTube. YouTube, quick, quick. Before Twitch comes back, YouTube, quick, quick. Hold my hand, hold my hand, hold my hand. YouTube, YouTube, come here. It's important. Get out of bed, okay? We're breaking you out of here. We're breaking you out of here, YouTube. Hold my hand, quick, okay? Okay, okay. We're busting you out of here. We're busting you out of here. Okay, let's go. You hear that? You hear the sirens? Shit, YouTube, they're on to us. Okay, I need you to, climb into my sleep. Climb into my sleep. Okay, I'll smuggle you out of here. Okay. Okay. I don't think they'll find us. I don't think they'll find us. Ooh, Luta is live. Luto.